Imagine sailing across the vast Atlantic, spotting a ship drifting aimlessly on the horizon. Its sails flutter weakly, the wind carrying it like a ghost across the water. As you draw closer, something feels wrong. No one answers your calls. You board, only to find meals left untouched, belongings still neatly packed, and everything in order, except for one chilling detail. Every single person on board has vanished. No struggle, no bodies, no explanation. This isn't the plot of a horror movie. It's a true story. This is the mystery of the Mary Celeste, the world's most famous ghost ship. The Atlantic Ocean has always been a place of wonder and danger, a vast expanse that guards secrets in its depths. Sailors have long whispered about ghost ships, vessels found drifting silently, their crews vanished without explanation. Among these tales, one ship's story stands above the rest, capturing imaginations for more than a century: the mystery of the Mary Celeste. The Mary Celeste was not a wreck when her legend began. She was a sturdy two-masted brigantine, built in Nova Scotia in 1861 under the name Amazon. Her early years were rough: accidents, collisions, even a fire, but she survived, sold, and renamed. By the 1870s, she was seaworthy, trusted to carry cargo across the Atlantic. Sailors may have whispered she was cursed, but she was no decrepit ghost vessel. She was strong, modern, and reliable. In November of 1872, the Mary Celeste set sail from New York, bound for Genoa, Italy. Her cargo was 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol, valuable but routine. At her helm was Captain Benjamin Briggs, a respected and deeply religious seaman. With him were his wife Sarah, their young daughter Sophia, and a carefully chosen crew of 7. 10 souls in total embarked on what should have been an ordinary voyage. At almost the same time, another ship, the Dei Gratia, also left New York. Her captain, David Morehouse, was acquainted with Briggs. Their paths would soon cross in a way that history would never forget. On December 4th, 1872, 400 miles east of the Azores, the Dei Gratia spotted a vessel drifting strangely. Its sails were partly set, its course erratic, as if guided by an unseen hand. As they drew closer, they read the name, Mary Celeste. Expecting distress, Morehouse sent a boarding party. What they found became one of the greatest mysteries in maritime history. The ship was completely deserted. The lifeboat was gone, but everything else was intact. There was no sign of struggle, no blood, no damage from storms. The cargo was still there, except for 9 barrels that appear to have leaked. The crew's belongings, even valuables, remained untouched. Food for 6 months was in the galley. The last log entry was from November 25th, noting nothing unusual. It was as if the crew had simply walked off the ship, leaving it to wander the waves. Why would Captain Briggs, a cautious man with his wife and child aboard, order such a decision? This question baffled the inquiry held in Gibraltar. Investigators found no clear cause. They ruled out mutiny and piracy. Why abandon a ship with its cargo and valuables untouched? They found no storm damage, and yet 10 people had vanished without a trace. Over the years, theories have tried to solve the riddle. Some point to nature. A sudden waterspout or seaquake might have convinced Briggs the ship was sinking. Another possibility is the cargo. The leaking barrels contained alcohol, highly flammable. If fumes had gathered below deck, Briggs may have feared an explosion. Perhaps he ordered the crew into the lifeboat temporarily, intending to return once the danger passed. But if the tow line snapped or the sea turned rough, they would have been stranded, watching helplessly as their ships sailed on without them. Others have suggested navigational error. Briggs might have believed he was closer to the Azores than he was. If the ship was slightly damaged or taking on water, he may have thought abandoning for shore was the safer choice. But why leave so quickly, with food and belongings untouched? Theories of mutiny and piracy fail under scrutiny. The ship's cargo wasn't looted, and the crew Briggs hired were trusted men with clean reputations. Pirates in that part of the Atlantic would not have ignored valuables. And so suspicion turned to the bizarre. Some have claimed sea monsters pulled the crew overboard. Others suggest alien abduction. These outlandish ideas were fueled by fiction. Arthur Conan Doyle, creator of Sherlock Holmes, wrote a short story inspired by the Mary Celeste, though he changed details and exaggerated the drama. His tale spread widely, blurring the line between fact and fiction. Readers embraced the ghost ship myth, and the Mary Celeste became legend. In reality, the most logical explanation remains the alcohol fumes. 9 barrels had leaked. If vapors filled the hold, Briggs may have tested it by opening hatches. A rush of fumes, perhaps ignited by a lantern flare, might have terrified him into abandoning ship. He could have believed the vessel was about to explode, lowering the lifeboat as a precaution. The problem is not that they left, it's why they never returned. Likely, the sea swallowed them after a rope snapped or the boat overturned. A simple, tragic accident, magnified into mystery by the silence that followed. After the inquiry, the Mary Celeste was released to continue service, but her name was stained. Sailors viewed her as cursed, haunted by those who disappeared. Owners came and went, each suffering misfortune. In 1885, she met her final fate when her then-owner ran her aground off Haiti in a failed insurance scheme. She was left to rot, her bones claimed by the sea. Yet her legend never sank. The Mary Celeste is remembered not because she was abandoned, but because of how she was abandoned. Ships deserted in storms or war are common, but a ship left intact, stocked, seaworthy, and drifting silently, that is rare, unsettling, and unforgettable. The case remains unsolved. Historians revisit it endlessly, weighing each theory. Was it fumes? A storm? Human error? Or something stranger? The lack of evidence is what makes the mystery endure. Every answer leads to another question. And so the Mary Celeste sails on, not across oceans, but through our imaginations. She is invoked whenever ghost ships are mentioned, a symbol of the unknown. Her empty decks remind us that the sea is vast, unforgiving, and sometimes incomprehensible. In the end, perhaps the true power of the Mary Celeste lies not in solving the mystery, but in leaving it unsolved. The unanswered question keeps the story alive. What really happened in November 1872? Why did 10 people vanish without a trace? We may never know. The real ship is long gone, wrecked and forgotten beneath the waves. But the ghost of the Mary Celeste will never disappear. She drifts eternally in human memory, a phantom on the waters of history, the greatest ghost ship ever to sail the seas.